Yo guys, welcome back to another Demon Slayer video. I told you, didn't I? We are going to be consistent and continue going balls deep in Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. In our last video about Kimetsu Muzan, I said I'm going to go into Tanjiro's heritage and the meaning behind his earrings. And then the possible theory that I came up on Tanjiro's connection to the strongest upper moon demon Kokushibo, along with his relationship with the man that Kimetsu Muzan fears the most.
Before we begin this video, we'd like to mention our sponsors. This video was made possible by Astral Chronicles. Now I know, you're probably wondering, who the hell is that and why should I care? I'm tired of these motherfucking YouTubers having these motherfucking sponsors. Just entertain me for God's sake. Well guys, wait, let me explain. Astral Chronicles is a popular fantasy JRPG where you have been chosen to be a 1,000,000-to-1 hero that can challenge fate itself. The miles of challenge and mystery lie before you once you download it onto your phone through the link in the description and pinned comment. Along your playthrough of the game, you recruit various heroes, each with unique personality and story, to join your cause of course, and you'll form different teams and venture on dangerous missions and quests. From there on, you dive into adventure-filled mystery and challenge with the hope of reversing the wheel of fate itself. On top of that, recently Astral Chronicles has just announced a special collaboration with Law of Creation. The most popular character from Law of Creation is coming to the Astral Realm today, called Ultimate Weapon Pandora Z. A new waifu to add to your list, I must say. Pandora is notable for her independent alternating personalities and immense magical powers. She makes her grand appearance to Astral Realm today, that's why you need to download it. So basically, if you need a new video game to play on the train whilst taking a shit or something, Astral Chronicle is up your alley.
Alright guys, before I begin, like always, I have to let you know that this video has spoilers for anime watchers. Yes, this is a manga orientated video, but if you guys don't care and just want to enjoy this theory, then keep watching. And for those who don't read the manga, then read the manga. You guys are missing out, and I promise you that you will still enjoy the anime. Okay, so right off the bat, let's start with what we know about Tanjiro and the real reason why Kimetsu Muzan killed Tanjiro's family. This question will help us understand Tanjiro's earrings and heritage much better. So, from the start of the series, we are introduced to the Kamado family, who consisted of our main protagonist, the eldest son Tanjiro, his mother Kie, his sisters Nezuko and Hanako, and his brothers Takio, Shigeru, and Rokta. Now, due to Tanjiro's father Tanjiro's death by an illness, Tanjiro had to take on a heavy role of supporting the family business of selling fuel for fire, from charcoal to firewood. Tanjiro was also responsible in doing most of the heavy lifting in carrying the products to the nearest town in order to sell them to support the family. Did I mention my boy Tanjiro at the start of the series is only 13 years old? So yeah, at the age of 13, Tanjiro used to constantly go from his home where they lived on a mountain to town, and then back up again to the mountain. He did this on a regular basis. Back then they didn't question about child labor, it was do or die. However, as we know, after coming back from one of his trips, he found his family dead. All dead. Well, apart from his sister Nezuko, who turned into a demon, and that's where our story begins. This is the sadness of a demon slayer. They always have a past. Okay now, so why did Muzan kill his family? And let's be real now, if Tanjiro wasn't busy selling firewood, he would also be dead too. Either way, we know that Muzan personally went to the mountains to kill this family. What was his reason? Well, in chapter 14, when Tanjiro first encounters Kimetsu Muzan, Muzan took notice to Tanjiro's Hanafuda earrings, along with having a flashback to a man who possesses one that's identical. In this flashback, it shows that Muzan is seemingly defeated on the ground, while the badass earring bearing demon slayer looking down on him. However, obviously this demon slayer didn't finish the job, as Muzan is still alive in the present era. Nevertheless, due to this, Muzan felt threatened by Tanjiro and his connection to the point of wanting him dead. This can also be the reason why Tanjiro's family was targeted, because Muzan knew of a connection of the Kamado family and this mysterious demon slayer. So who exactly is this mysterious demon slayer? Well, in chapter 81 we learn more about him in another flashback, but this time it was through the interaction between Tanjiro and Daki. Daki being the 6th upper moon, she is strongly connected to Muzan by his blood and cells. When Tanjiro used the breath of the sun, or in this case the dance of the sun god, and gives his speech questioning the reason behind demons killing people, this triggers Daki to start having overlapping memories and recalls Muzan's past, which shows the same demon slayer of the past that nearly put an end to Muzan. This time the illustration is much clearer. The demon slayer has a long samurai hairstyle and wears the distinct Hanafuda earrings that we also see Tanjiro wearing. The demon slayer also has a unique red mark on his forehead. Now in the same chapter, just earlier, Tanjiro receives a letter from Shinjiro Rengoku, who is the father of Kyojuro. Shinjiro says that Tanjiro is a chosen user of the breath of the sun, which is the father of all breaths. He goes on to state that they all have red birthmarks on their forehead. Although Tanjiro dismisses this and explains the origin of his mark on his forehead being just a scar rather than a birthmark, his own father Tanjiro had a slight birthmark on his forehead. Now guys, I'm not going to go into too much detail about the Demon Slayer mark on their foreheads, as I'm planning to make a dedicated video on this, so make sure to check that out. But this leads us to our main theory of this video, that Tanjiro is the descendant or somehow connected to the Demon Slayer with the Hanafuda earrings from the past. More than likely from his father's side. This theory is later reinforced in chapter 99 with a dream that Tanjiro has. But before I get into this dream, I need to point out that the cover art for this chapter is pretty lit. It's a back view illustration of this mysterious Hanafuda samurai demon slayer. Like, look at it, it looks pretty cool, right? Sorry, okay, let's go back to the theory. So in this dream or ancestral flashback that Tanjiro has, it starts off with a first person view of a character bringing some food and tea to the Hanafuda demon slayer, who is actually a guest to the house and looking after a baby. We then learn that this character that Tanjiro is seeing through looks very much like Tanjiro, which makes it pretty obvious that he is Tanjiro's ancestor. His name is Sumiyoshi, and he, like the Kamado family, works in the field of making fire. In his case, he is a coal burner. The demon slayer is looking after his baby while Sumiyoshi's wife is resting. Through Sumiyoshi and the demon slayer's interaction, it seems that Sumiyoshi was saved by the demon slayer at one point in his life, and at times the demon slayer comes over to his house. It's not exactly clear what their relationship is, however, putting everything together, it's very likely that Sumiyoshi respected this demon slayer a lot and felt indebted to him and wanted to carry on his legacy through his children. Unlike Tanjiro and his father Tanjiro, Sumiyoshi isn't seen with the Hanafuda earrings, so the tradition of wearing it more likely started in Sumiyoshi's kids or later generation. It's also possible from Sumiyoshi's kids and descendants, they learned the dance of the fire god's breath style and passed it on from generation to generations. Now here is where we add to our theory of Tanjiro being related to the Hanafuda demon slayer. How, you ask? Well, let's look at Sumiyoshi's wife. As she lays on the floor, we get a glimpse of her hair and it looks quite similar to a Hanafuda demon slayer's hair. And even though this may be a stretch, but just going by this, we can assume that Sumiyoshi's wife is the sister of the Hanafuda demon slayer. So this technically would make Tanjiro related to a Hanafuda samurai demon slayer. However, it is also possible that they aren't directly related at all, but just connected in another way. This once again is just the anime balls deep theory. Now, funny enough, after Tanjiro wakes up from his dream, he later encounters a fighting doll in chapter 113, which resembles our mysterious Hanafuda samurai demon slayer. Tanjiro even states that its face looks familiar. We then learn that this fighting doll is based on an actual swordsman from the Sengoku era, and they named it Yoriichi Ziroshiki. And let's be honest, this samurai that they based the doll off is the same badass demon slayer with the Hanafuda earrings. So you know what, let's make things easier and call this demon slayer the real Yuri Chi. We also learned that this fighting doll needed 6 arms with 6 swords to even come close to replicating the real life movements of Yoriichi, which goes to show you how strong this samurai was. Now Tanjiro ends up practicing against this doll version of Yoriichi until it ends up breaking and reveals a rusted sword hidden inside the base of the doll. The sword is around 300 years old and more than likely belonged to Yoriichi when he was alive. And a quick side note guys is that the Demon Slayer universe seemed to be in line with the concept of destiny. Like, what are the chances that our main protagonist, who bears the same forehead mark, earrings and has flashback recalling this dude, ends up finding his sword? Like, come on. Koyoharu Gotoge is definitely trying to put some destiny into play. So after finding the samurai's blade, it's later reforged by Tanjiro's swordsmith Haganezuka to be given to Tanjiro as his new sword. Now this is quite quite important, as one of the last point I want to mention is that Tanjiro's connection with Yoriichi is shown in chapter 113, where Tanjiro, after finally being able to turn his black sword red, he recalls an inherited memory of Sumiyoshi hearing a woman who is supposedly his wife or someone else saying that Yoriichi's sword turns red when he fights, but otherwise it's always black, much like Tanjiro's sword at that instance. So Tanjiro's ability to utilize the breath of the sun is due to his relation with Yoriichi, or possibly Yoriichi's spirit is being relayed within Tanjiro. This is like some Avatar shit, and these Hanafuda earrings could have got passed down from him over the years to carry his legacy. Now moving on, we later get introduced to a character who actually resembles this mysterious first breath samurai demon slayer, and once again for the purpose of this video, we are calling him the real Yuri Chi. So yes, the character who resembles Yoriichi is the strongest and the first member of the 12 demon moon, the upper moon one, Kokushibo. However, we believe that the Demon Moon 1 and the real Yoriichi are not the same person, although we do believe there is some type of relation between them. This can be backed by chapter 128, when the wife of Kaguya Ubuyashiki, the Demon Slayer leader, explains the Demon Slayer mark. She talks about swordsmen and the first breath from the Sengoku era, and we see images of different swordsmen with the mark, one looking like Yoriichi and possibly another looking like Kokushibo. And we already confirmed that the man that Muzan fears, the one that always appears in his flashbacks, the one that appears in Tanjiro's flashback, the one that was later modeled into a fighting samurai doll, Yoriichi, is from the Sengoku period. So yes, everything seems to be coming together. Okay, so we learnt about who is Yoriichi, but who exactly is Kokushibo, and why does he look so similar to Yoriichi? Well, let's actually understand and analyze this. Well, in chapter 165, it shows that the Mist Pillar Muichiro Tokito notices Kokushibo's sword, indicating that he must have been a demon slayer before in his past life. And after that, Kokushibo also notices something about Tokito, and that is that he is his own descendant. Kokushibo then explains to him that before he became the upper moon one of the 12 demon moons, Kokushibo was a human that went by the name of Michikatsugi Kuni, and only after asking Tokito's full name, he realizes that the Suki Kuni family name has died off over the hundreds of years from his time, which Kokushibo explains that he was born around the Sengoku period. Once again, this is the same timeline as Yoriichi and the first breath users. Coincidence? I think not. But seriously guys, coming back to the theory, when Kokushibo was a human, he more than likely was among the tribe for the first breath users. And going over our anime balls deep theory, all in all, Kokushibo seems like he was the brother of the first breath user Yoriichi. Along with that, Kokushibo displayed his power using the breath of the moon, which funny enough, it seems like the yin and yang to the breath of the sun. It's highly likely that Yoriichi is Kokushibo's elder brother or vice versa when they were humans. So going by this theory, if Tanjiro is related to Yoriichi, then he must be also related to Kokushibo. And as we know from Kokushibo, as he stated in chapter 165, he is the direct forefather of Muichiro Tokito, which technically would make Tokito and Tanjiro related in some sort of way if we go by this theory. Also later in chapter 166, it adds more to our theory because Kokushibo states how nostalgic the view of Demon Slayer siblings are when he sees Genya and the Wind Pillar Sanemi, brothers side by side, which could indicate that he himself once related to this brotherly relationship, possibly when him and Yoriichi was fighting side by side as demon slayers, as brothers in arms. Anyway guys, once again, this is just a theory, a anime balls deep theory, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, get it over 5,000 likes, and I'll make sure to do more theory videos on Kimetsu no Yaiba. And don't forget to let me know what ideas you want us to cover. If it gets voted, then we will do it for sure. Remember guys, to subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay updated. Till then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.